Welcome to our educational channel. From class 7th maths, the chapter number 7 is the unitary method. So in this method, not only direct and inverse concepts, even time and work, including time and work, those problems are related to this topic. Let me explain one by one. So here is the topics here. First, let us see the basic concepts. Then examples of direct variation and examples of inverse variation. These two we need to identify the question which is given is belongs to a direct variation or inverse. That's the most important. Again, time and work, those problems. So various type of problems, word sums based on this time and work in this unitary method. Let me show you. When you see the concept of this topic, direct and inverse. For example, let us take cost of 15 meters cloth. So let us say 15 meters cloth is rupees 300. Then cost of 1 meter cloth. So 15 meters cloth is 300. Then cost of only 1 meter cloth. So 15 meters cloth is 300. So 1 meter means so 300 divided by 15. 300 should make into 15 parts because 1 meter cloth cost will get 300 divided by 15. 15 2s are 30 and 0. So 20. 20 rupees is 1 meter cloth. And number of meters if increase. Okay, if you want to only find the cost of 10 meters, same cloth. 10 meters cloth. Right? So 1 meter is 20 rupees. Then 10 meters, 10 into 20. So 200. These type of examples will come under direct variation. So increase in one quantity causes increase in the other. That means if it is 10 meters cloth, we got in this example 200. And 15 meters cloth is rupees 300. So one quantity is increased. If one quantity is increased 10 to 15, this is increased. Same way it will increase the second quantity also. And if one quantity is decreased, like 15 to 1 meter decreased, so it became 300 to 20. So increase in one quantity causes increase in the other, and decrease in one quantity causes the decrease in other. This is the condition for direct variation. And when you come to this inverse variation is exactly opposite of this direct. Let us take one example. 15 men can do one work in 300 days. 15 men can do one work in, let us take 300 days. 15 members if they'll do 300 days, only one man will take more days, that is 300 into 15. So 4500 days is supposed to do the same work to complete it. So when 15 members, if they'll do some work in 300 days, only same work if you want to do the one member will take 300 into 15, 4500 days. Right? Same way. So one quantity is decreased, then another quantity is increased. So 15 to 1, now 300 to 4500. So increase in one quantity causes decrease in other. The same way, decrease in one quantity causes the increase in other. This type will come under inverse variation. So here is a mostly in direct variation. You can get the problems like with money, more articles can be bought. Okay, with greater speed and larger distance can be covered in the same time. Okay, same. That means greater with a greater speed, a large distance can be covered in the same time. And with less number of men, less work can be done. More men, more work can be done. Those type. When come to this inverse variation, greater speed, less time. If you take more speed, time will be take less. So these both are inverse variation. Right? Less number of men, more days to cover the same work. So these examples for inverse. Let us see examples one by one, then get more idea. The main thing is when it's come to direct variation, one quantity is increased, one should be increased again. One is decreased, other also must be decreased. That is a direct variation. So both are same type. So one it is decreasing, one also same. When you come to this inverse, one if it is increase, one more should be decrease. Okay, this is for the direct variation and this type is for inverse variation. Let us see the word problems in these both methods. Examples of direct variation. So in this method, let us see few examples. The question is, a man earns rupees 400 in 10 days. How much will he earn in 28 days? So if he is getting in 10 days 400 rupees. So 28 days. So if he is taking more days, he is supposed to get the more amount. So less days is a less amount. That means is the question is about the direct variation. So in 10 days, if you take the question, in 10 days, the man earn. In 10 days, the given question is the man earns is given rupees 400. Right. In 10 days, if we earn 400, so in one day, let us find out in one day first. In one day, he will earn 400 divided by 10 because in 10 days 400. So within one day, it is a 400 divided by 10. 400 divided by 10 is 40. 0, 0 cancel. 10 ones are 10, 40. 40 rupees per day is earning. Now the question is how much will earn in 28 days. So in 28 days. Therefore in 28 days. In one day we got 40 rupees. So in 28 days he will earn, that is 28 times 40 because 40 rupees is per day, like that 28 days. So to increase it is 28 into 40. 28 4 so 1120. 1120 rupees is getting for 28 days. Now same direct variation, let us do alternate method. There's arrow method. I'll explain which is easy that you can follow. In this question, this is two quantities. One is days, number of days and earning. Right? So number of days, this is the alternate, number of days and amount or earning. Amount is supposed to get. So in this first 10 days, for 10 days is getting rupees 400, right? This one. Again, next question is for 28 days is how much? So let us take for 28 days rupees x. Now in this since it is a direct variation, this value is increased 10 to 28. Another quantity also must be increased. So this also must be increased. So since it is direct variation, same number like x value I have to find out. So x divided by 400 is exactly equals to this 28 divided by 10. Same number, same position you take. X divided by 400, no, same 28 divided by 10 you can take. Or else 400 divided by x is equals to 10 by 28. Since it's direct variation, same side quantity divided by same number. Again this divided by this. So x is supposed to find out. So I took x divided by 400 is equals to 28 divided by 10. Okay, this divided by this and 28 divided by 10. From this you can solve the x value now. So easy, 28 divided by 10. Then if you simplify, x is equals to, so 28 divided by 10. 400 is dividing, take other side into 400. You simplify and cancel this. 10 0 0 28 into 40, again rupees 1020. Instead of finding for one day separately, directly you can take this direct method. Let us see one more example. Now for example, this is a question. Instead of two ways, just to do the arrow method for this problem. So instead of lengthy, let us go for arrow method. Every question having two quantities. In this 0.75 meter cloth, cost is rupees 45. What will be the cost of 0.6 meter of same cloth? So when the length of the meter length is increasing, then cost will be increased. So length is reduced, then cost also must be decreased. That means this is a direct variation. So two quantities, right? You can take this. One is the cloth in meters and one more is in cost, that is in rupees. Okay, here is the first one, 0.75 meter. 0.75 meters. Cost is rupees 45. What will be the cost of 0.6 meters? So 0.6 meters cost, let be rupees X. Now this one value is decreased. This also is must be decreased. So since it's a direct variation, so keep the equal symbol in between. If you take first one divided by second one, then here also first one divided by second you should write. We suppose find out x value. So x divided by 45 I took. Second number divided by first number I took here. No? Same way you can also take second number divided by this first number. So this is step you write. Then you can find x value from this. So x is equal to 0.6 divided by 0.75 into 45. 45 is dividing. Take this right and multiply. Then just simplify this calculation. So we can assume 0. That means become 60 by 75 into 45. After point same number of digits you can remove into 100 by 100. Then simplify this value. So here is a 15 table. 15 times 4, 15 times 5. Again 5 nines, 9 fours. So 36. That is rupees 36. Cost of 0.6 meter cloth is rupees 36. Node of finding for 1 meter cloth. So directly can go for this arrow method. Right? This is about the direct variation. You need to observe the question clearly and find those two quantities. Just write this type. Then take second number divided by first number exactly equal to, in this also second divided by first. Then you can apply. Right? This is about the direct variation. Let us see the inverse variation, how to do that. Examples of inverse variation. So let us see few problems in this inverse variation. The question is, 4 men can do a piece of work in 5 days. 4 members can do the work in 5 days. How much men will do it in 4 days? So this is a inverse variation because the people are increasing, the number of days will be decreased. So it will be less. They can do less time. And the number of people are more, number of days will be less. Actually, for getting more, we are supposed to multiply. For getting less, we should divide. So this problem in two methods. Before arrow method, let me show you in briefly this problem first. So here is given data is in 5 days. The work done by 4 men. So in 5 days, the work. So first line, the work is done by 4 men. Right? So 5 days we got. Now we supposed to find out in 1 day. So in 1 day, then same, the work is done by. So 5 days, if we are required 4 members, then in 1 day, that means we supposed to get the multiply here because one of number of days is decreased, no? So value should be increased. To getting more, we supposed to multiply. Remember, so 4 into 5, that is 20 men. So 20 men are required. Now 1 day it's 20 men. Then in 4 days, in 4 days the work is done by. So now 1 day we have 20, 4 days. Now this quantity is increased, so this should be decreased. For decreasing, we should divide. So 20 divided by 4. 20 divided by 4, so only 5. So 5 men. That means 4 men can do work in 5 days. Then how much men? So 5 men can do in 4 days. Let us see same problem in this arrow method like previous concept. Here is a two quantities, days and number of men, right? So alternate method. So days and one more is number of men. Now in this 5 days, first line is 4 men 5 days. So 5 days 4 men can do the work. Next, how much men? So this x will do in 4 days. So 4 is this. Now in this, one value is increasing, one should be decreased. So this is down, and it must be up. So inverse it is. So this 5 to 4 is decreased. No, this is a decreased value. X must be more than 4. Now you can take, if you take 5 divided by 4, this should be reverse. You should take x by 4. Now this is 5 divided by 4. This must be x divided by 4. Reverse. If you take this divided by this, up first number divided by second number. Now here is second number divided by first number you should take, because the example is for inverse variation. That means if I take x divided by 4, x divided by 4, now here is 5 divided by 4. This we can simplify and get the answer now. Therefore x is equals to 5 divided by 4 into 4. Take 4 is denominator, it will multiply. 4 4 cancel, 5 men. See one more example, get more clear idea. Here is the, okay, this is the problem. Arrow method will do it now. With the speed of 60 kilometers per hour, it takes 4 hours to cover the certain distance. What should be the speed if the same journey is to be completed in 3 hours? If you want to go in 3 hours, speed should be increased, right? Actually, to cover the same distance, if you go 60 km per hour speed, they are taking 4 hours. Within 3 hours, if you want to reach, we should increase the speed, right? So that means one quantity is increasing, one is decreasing. So this is about a inverse variation problem. Now the two units or two quantities. One is the time is in hours. One is the speed. Okay. Speed is in kilometers per hour. Okay, so in this first one, 4 hours. 4 hours it takes, the speed is 60 kilometers per hour. And next line, completed in 3 hours. So in 3 hours let be x kilometers per hour is the speed. So this is inverse variation. 4 to 3, it is decrease. No, it must be increase. One value is decrease, one value increase. That means reverse division. That is, if I take x divided by 60, x divided by 60, it must be 4 divided by 3. Remember this. And 4 divided by 3. Upside down. One is, if you take 4 by 3, this must be x by 60. This is about the inverse variation. Now you can simplify this. So x is equals to 4 divided by 3 into 60. Then simplify, 320. 4 into 20 is 80. So 80 kilometers per hour. If you want to cover the same distance within 3 hours, we have to increase the speed more, 20. That means previously 60 kilometers per hour. It must go, we have to go in 80 kilometers per hour speed. So simple thing, for getting more, we supposed to multiply. To get the less, we should divide. Okay, these things you remember about the inverse and direct and inverse. This is about the inverse method. Let us see some problems based on time, distance, time and work. So in this unitary method, let us see the problems based on time and work also. Before starting the problems, let us see the basic concepts in this. For example, if a man can do work in 50 days, so a man can do work in 50 days. In case if he can able to do work in 50 days in one day, in one day the same person can do 1 by 50th part of the work, right? This is the thing. For example, if a person can do work in 2 days, when complete work a person can do in 2 days, then in one day he can do only 1 by 2 part, half of the work, right? Total 2 days. So this must be 1 by 2, 1 by 2. That means reciprocal of this number. If you can do in 2 days, in one day you can do 1 by 2. Same way reverse. If a person in one day, if you do 1 by 50th, we can do the work in 50 days. So this number should be reciprocal. Right? Let us see the questions here. Then get more idea. And in this problem, A completes a piece of work in 4 days and B completes it in 6 days. How long will it take to complete the same work if they both work on together? So individually they can capacity is 4 days and 6 days. So in this problem, so A can do work in 4 days. First line is given. And B complete it in 6 days. That means B capacity. So B can do a work in 6 days. So from this, A can do a work in 4 days, right? Same A is 1 day work. In 1 day, he can do 1/4 part. 1/4 of the work A can do it. Same way B is 1 day. B can do in 1 day 1/6, 1/6 of the work. So together we can find out for 1 day. That means A and B together 1 day work. So together they can do 1 day means 1/4 part A is able to do, 1/6 part B is. So we need to add this. So 1/4 plus 1/6. We can do LCM, that is 12. 3 plus 2. Right? So 5/12. 5/12 part of the work they can do in 1 day. So therefore A and B. So A and B together. Together means just take the reciprocal of this number. Previously checked example. If a person in 1 day, if you do 1/50th, so the person can do reciprocal of this number of days. So 1/50 reciprocal is 50/1. That is 50. So same way, A and B together in 1 day they can do 5/12. 5/12th part of the work. So A and B together, so doing 12/5 days. So 12/5 days, that we can write in mixed fraction 2/5 days. 2/5 days A and B together, because A's capacity is 4 days, B is 6. So together means should be less than 4 only, because together is working. So 2/5 days. Let us see one more example. Okay, here's the question. Ajay and Vijay together can paint a hall in 6 days. Ajay alone can paint it in 8 days. How many days Vijay alone paint it? So it's about the two persons together capacity is given. So in this problem, this Ajay and Vijay can do in 6 days. This Ajay and Vijay together can do 6 days. Only Ajay alone. Only Ajay alone can do in 8 days. Now according to this, these two together in 6 days. That means Ajay and Vijay is 1 day. Vijay is only 1 day. They can do 1/6 part. From here, only Ajay is 1 day. 1 day is 1/8. These two together in 1 day 1/6. Only Ajay is 1 day 1/8. If you want Vijay is 1 day. Only Vijay is 1 day capacities. From together subtract this Ajay. So 1/6, from that 1/8 you can subtract. Then you can find out only Vijay's capacity per day. Simple, right? 1/6 minus 1/8 you can do the LCM. So 24. This is 4 minus 3. So 1/24. Only Vijay can do in 1 day 1/24. So therefore reciprocal of this number is Vijay can do that many days. So Vijay alone can do in 24 days. Whatever the number is there, just take the reciprocal of this. So Vijay alone can do in 24 days, because Ajay 8 days, Vijay 24 days. So together means 6 days. Together and one person is given, just to go for subtraction. Now see one more sum. In this for the filling system, a tap fills the system in 4 hours, another tap empties the full tank in 6 hours. How long will it take to fill the tank if the tank is empty and both taps are open? Both are open at a time. One is filling and one is emptying. So we have to go for subtraction here, because from filling, the emptying, if we subtract, we'll get the remaining time. So in this, in 1 hour, so a tap can fill in 4 hours. Another tap, let be B. B tap can empty in 6 hours. So based on these two statements, so A tap in 1 hour, A tap can fill in only 1 hour, because A tap can fill total 4 hours. In 1 hour, it can fill only 1 by 4th, right? Same way, B tap can empty in 1 hour, that is 1 by 6. So now we need to find out empty. So together, suppose both taps in 1 hour fill, because one is filling and one is emptying. From filling, you can subtract this empty part. So both taps in 1 hour. In 1 hour means 1 by 4 minus 1 by 6 hours. 1 by 6, the part it is. 1 by 4 minus 1 by 6 to LCM, 3 minus 2 by 12. So 1 by 12. 1 by 12th part of the system they can fill. So therefore, the system will fill in 12 hours. Can fill in 12 hours. So one is filling and one is empty. You can do subtraction with both. So we have the one more problem. Get clear idea about this. So time and work. Next question. A and B can do a piece of work in 15 days and 20 days respectively. Right? The work done by A in 3 days. Find the work done by A in 3 days. So for the first one, A's 1 day work. So A's 1 day work we can find out, because A can do work in 15 days, right? So in 1 day he'll do 1 by 15th part of the work. So based on that, work done by A in 3 days. Work done by A in 3 days, because 1 day he can do 1 by 15. 3 days means 3 into 1 by 15. That is 1 by 5. So 1 by 5th part. So 1 by 5 of the work A can do it. Next one. The work left after A has worked for 3 days. The work left after A has worked for 3 days. So the work left after A worked for 3 days. That is total work let be 1. So work left. To find out these cases, the work left means let it be total work is 1. From that, 1 by 5th of the work is completed. So 1 minus 1 by 5. So 5 minus 1 by 5, that is 4 by 5. So 4 by 5 part of the work was left now. Right? Now, question number 3 in this. The number of days that B will take to complete the remaining work. So remaining work is 4 by 5. So B how many days will take? So remaining work is equals to 4 by 5 and B's 1 day capacity. B's 1 day work. 1 day how much he can do it? B can do in 20 days. That means B 1 day can do only 1 by 20. So total remaining work is 4 by 5. He can do only 1 by 20. So to complete the number of days. To find out the number of days done by B is total work divided by B's 1 day capacity. There's a problem. So they're asking number of days that B will take to complete the remaining work. So remaining work should write first. Remaining work is on the numerator. So remaining work is 4 by 5. Divide by who is doing this remaining B. So B's 1 day work, 1 day capacity is 1 by 20. You get the number of days. So 4 by 5 into 1 by 20 reciprocal. So 20 by 1. You can simplify this. 5 ones are 5, 4, 4 4 is 16. So remaining work can do by B in 16 days, right? If you want to find out the number of days, the total work divided by the person's capacity for the day, you'll get the number of days he can do it. In this way, most of the problems in time and work you can get like this. And those are watching the first time our channel, you can subscribe it, and to follow the content in order, all the chapters in order you can learn it.